Hello. Okay, the tier list is a bit late, but that's for good reason. I really wanted to play, it's a pretty big patch, right? So I really wanted to kind of play it and really make sure that things were how I thought they were before. And I will be honest, I'm glad I did because a lot of my opinions have changed since the initial release of the patch. And I just want to go over what I think right now is doing the best as of the 25th of February, which is when this is uploading. Anyway, we'll start. I think Sigma is okay. I don't think he's great, but I also don't think he's bad because he's got decent survivability options against Poke, and he enables Poke pretty good, and Poke isn't too bad right now. It's obviously not hard meta, but it's playable on some maps. Therefore, I'm willing to give Sigma B. I think he's okay. He's pretty easy to exploit, especially with what's really good right now. They kind of walk over him. But on some maps like Havana, he's playable. Circuit, he's playable. And he's actually a really good option on those maps too. So I'm fine with that. I think Queen is a little underrated, actually. I think she's also B, because she enables rush comps really, really hard right now. And although she might not be the best rush tank in the game, she's still not terrible. She's definitely playable, depending on the comp. The only issue is she's really easy to counter swap. I'm actually going to put her in C tier. I think she's so easy to counter swap that the chances of you having a successful rush with her is pretty low. You're only going to get like one or two, and then like you're going to get counter swap most likely. This is for GM as well, so like they'll kill you immediately. Maga's D. Maga is horrible. He just collapses. Like I don't really need to say much more. Basically, every comp that's viable right now just kind of destroys him. I know there's like GM Mauga players now. They're like mid-GM claiming on him with like 60% win rates, 70% win rates. It doesn't mean he's not terrible. He's still terrible. Zarya, I think, is actually pretty good after the recent buffs. She gets Grav in about 4 seconds, which is really cool. You can Grav like a million times in a round. It's fantastic. She actually has a lot of decent kill potential now, unlike previous patch where she was terrible. And I think she's actually not too bad of an option. She's a good solo queue tank, which is what I think a lot of people are looking for, is a good solo queue tank. Like if you're solo queuing on tank and you don't really know what to play, I think Zarya is going to be a good option because you got a lot of survivability options. You can clear the DPS passive, you can clear Discord, you can like get a lot of kills, you can make a lot of space. I think Zarya is really good right now. But she's only B because she gets walked over by Monkey, who is A. He is a fat boy right now. He's a thick boy. What can I say? He likes to jump up in there and get involved. He is incredible. And he's good for a lot of reasons. The armor buff, which means he can zap people through armor. Fantastic. Really good at enabling with the good supports right now. He's really, really good at dealing with those kind of pokey comps, those kind of hit scan prominent comps. He's really good into them, and they're also pretty strong right now, which means he's got even more opportunity to jump on things. He is just generally a very good tank right now, which is good. I think when Monkey is good, things are also good. I think Ryan is one of the worst heroes in the entire game. Don't pick him. He's pointless. He just falls over and dies because you're either shielding or swinging, and if you're shielding, then your shield breaks and then you die, and if you're swinging, then you just die a little faster than if your shield is up. He's pointless. Don't play him. He's probably the worst tank in the game. I think Orisa is also C tier. She just can't really do anything right now. She just kind of dies. Like, poke comps just kind of absolutely annihilate her. Dive comps annihilate her. She's just bad. Like, unless you're running her with, like, Death Ball or something, she's just fucking pointless. She just doesn't really do anything. Unless you're playing as, like, Doomfist. But, like, even then, who the fuck's playing Doomfist, right? As for Doomfist, he's C tier. He's bad. He's just not good. He's too easy to kill. He doesn't really kill anything at all. His damage is really low. He doesn't have much survivability. He's not very good at enabling dives. He's not very good at solo diving. He's just not good. I don't know what to say. He's just bad. Any CC just kills him immediately. He's just bad. But the Hog is also D. He's just complete garbage. I don't need to say anything. Like, literally any support utility in the game just makes him fall over. He's terrible. You shouldn't play him. think Ball is B tier. He's not too bad. He's pretty good. Great solo queue tank. Maybe even an A tier, but I'm going to keep him in B because of a certain thing that'll bring up later. But for now, B tier is pretty good for him. Good solo queue potential. He's honestly pretty good at enabling dives too, which means that if you're in a 5-stack, he's still playable, which is fantastic. That's what you're really looking for. He's very diverse in his ability to be solo queue prominent as well as good in team environments. You just got to play him a little differently for each, but I think B is a pretty good place for him. I think Ram is C. He's not good at all. He just kind of dies. Same problem with all these tanks. His niche is too easy to exploit. Like, he's a rush tank, but like if you rush into the enemy team on Ram and then they're playing like Tracer, you just collapse because you're getting shot in the back, you're getting hit with a DPS passive, there's not enough healing to go around, so basically you're just a block bot. And even now, because block is so bad because of the DPS passive, that even if you are block botting, they just kill you straight through your block anyway. He's just not good right now, which is terrible. I think Bastion is a sleeper pick. I think a lot of people are rating him a lot lower than he deserves. So I think he's actually B tier. I don't think he's bad at all. People are putting him really low. I think he's B. Right now he's B, and I think later on, once the meta shifts a little bit, I think he'll be even higher because that DPS passive is crazy on him. The reason Bastion isn't super good right now is because he just kind of falls over against any poke at all. Like, if they got Soldier, it's really difficult to deal with Soldier. Like, on those kind of longer sight lines, Sojourn just kind of kills him immediately. He's too easy to get poked down, and none of the tanks that are good at keeping him alive are super good. Like, Sigma isn't good enough right now to sustain the Bastion because they both die too quickly because of poke for the most part, or even just dive in general. Just jumping on him kills him. So I think right now the meta isn't favored for him, but if we get like a little brawl meta going on, like maybe we get some Limbrine buffs and maybe he gets really good, then I think Bastion has some real potential to be a really, really good character. And I don't think people are looking at it enough to see that Bastion is very good. Also, I just rated Bastion as a tank. My bad. I think Diva is S. I think she's the best tank in the game. She's incredible. This is the first time in a long time I've put a tank in S tier. She is unbelievable. She's so good. She's good for the same reasons that Monkey is good. Except this time she's got a ton of survivability on her defense matrix, as well as keeping her team alive with her defense matrix. And she's a good matchup for the Monkey because she just shoots the Monkey in his giant head hitbox with the bigger projectiles too, which makes it even easier. Shreds people close range, and if she ever gets in any danger, she's got a super long defense matrix to stay alive. Can really enable off angles really hard as well because she just joins her teammate there. She's got DM to hold forever, make an angle super dangerous to the enemy team with that DM. It's just, she's so good. She doesn't have any flaws right now, other than the fact that the enemy team might play Zarya. But even then, even if they are playing Zarya, dude, you just get like a decent Sojourn going on, and the Zarya can't play the game anymore. So I think Diva is really good. It's hard to... The reason I'm ranking Diva higher than Winston is because I think Diva is a little easier to get value out of in solo queue than Winston is. Winston's one of those characters where in solo queue he's playable, absolutely, there's no question about it. But he can be a little bit... He's just a little bit flimsy, if you know what I mean, right? Like, if he's solo diving and his team aren't following up on any of the space that he makes, they're not absorbing that space or taking the angles that he wins, they're not working off of his damage or the space that he creates, like, things like that, it's a little painful to play Monkey with a situation like that because your team just aren't doing what they're meant to be doing. But on Diva, you have enough carry potential and enough damage output, enough survivability, enough space creation ability, enough zoning, that you can really, really hard carry a game on Diva right now. I think Diva's super good. But Monkey, just a smidge worse. I think in a team environment, like 5v5, I think Monkey's better than Diva. And like, if you're stacking, like 5-stack v5 stack, I think the Monkey's better. Because a coordinated Monkey dive is way superior to a coordinated Diva dive because he's got all the cleave and everything. But it's okay. I think for solo queue, Diva's better. Kree, a lot of people rated him bad. I think Kree's good. I'm going to go A tier on Kree. I think he's very good because he's very good at dealing with 3 characters who are also pretty good. I don't think one of them is not very good, but a lot of people think he is. 2 of them are very good. Kree is very good at dealing with flankers. He's decent in anti-dive. He shreds Monkey with fan. Like, now, he's not the best hit scan. I'm actually going to rate him B. I think he's lower because I don't think he's as good as another hit scan that's coming up. But I think he's pretty good still. I mean, I think when people are rating him like C tier, they're not really remembering the fact that he's really good against these kind of, into these like 1v1 anti-dive comps where you're just kind of like isolating a 1v1 mid-dive and then you're just like doing your best to get rid of them. Plus with a hinder, you can make it so that he can't exit anymore. He's just very good. He's reliable. He's not the best at scan. He's probably the worst. Still very good. I think Genji, now a lot of people think he's S tier. And a lot of people think he's A tier. After playing a lot of Genji in Grandmaster, currently in Grandmaster, Genji is not great. I'll be honest. He's okay. He's good at what he does, but he's also kind of pointless, if you know what I mean. Like, Genji, let's say you're running like a monkey dive and you're picking Genji, you can get a lot of value out of the Genji. But you can also get a lot of value out of Sojourn and Tracer and Sombra. Like, there's not a lot of reason to go Genji, because Genji is higher risk and, like, similar to lower reward, right? So there's just really no point in running him. So I think C tier, again, I think the highs of Genji feast or famine. We can describe him that way. If you're doing well on Genji, you're cooking the fucking team. You're rolling. You're 60-1. You're just destroying him. You're getting 4k blades every time you're popping it. You're going in and you're neutral. You're swagging out. You're killing everyone. You're comboing people down. It's incredible. However, if they go Moira or like any semblance of counterplay, or they start paying attention to you a little bit too much, or your team comp isn't super good for you, he falls apart. He is horrible. If the enemy team counter him or your team don't synergize with you, trash to your hero. He's the only thing that Genji is genuinely really good at right now is isolating angles. So for example, say you see someone in an off angle, he's really good at getting in on those off angles quickly, forcing 1v1s, and then hopefully winning them, because he's pretty good in the 1v1 depending on who he's fighting. Like, he's like, those giant shurikens make it super easy for the most part. But that's kind of it, right? So if they're not occupying those off angles and they're playing kind of closer together, more deathball-y, you just don't get anything done on the hero that you wouldn't be able to do on the other heroes more effectively. So I think when Genji's good, he's really good, but it takes very little to make him bad. So I'm bringing him C tier. I think Hanzo is really annoying this season. I don't think he's very good. I think he's B tier. I think he's pretty mid. I mean, like, he's fine. The only problem with him is Storm Arrow, because they're enormous, and it's like, in the one, he's incredible in the 1v1, but like outside of that, he just doesn't really do anything. He kind of lost the only thing that made him kind of who he was. Like, he lost his identity. Like, when he lost his one-shot, he kind of lost what made him Hanzo. So he's just kind of pointless. Like, he's really good in the 1v1 because he's got the Storm Arrow, but, like, other than that, he's pointless. There's no reason to pick him. Junk is probably the worst DPS in the game. I don't think I need to explain why. No one-shot is fucking... Like, his bombs are bigger, but who cares? You need to like 7 bombs to kill someone. It's pointless. Who fucking cares? He's terrible. Don't play him. I think Mei is also C tier. I don't think she's very good. She just kind of falls over. The wall is shitty this season because of what's getting played. It doesn't really matter. The wall is pointless. She can't one-shot Tracer anymore with right-click, which makes her completely pointless in the Tracer matchup. Tracer just fucking owns her now. She's just not good. Like, she lost pretty big time in this season. She's just not very good. Maybe she's playable in some maps with some comps. Maybe. But, like, not really. She's just not good. I think Farah's terrible too. Just don't pick her. She's bad. She's just really, really bad. She's bad because Mercy is bad, but she's bad because she's bad. It's like, it's one of those situations where Farah is bad and Mercy are bad, but playing them together make them both significantly worse, if you know what I mean. Like, if you've got Farah Mercy on your team, your Mercy's better off pocketing the other DPS than they are pocketing the Farah. That's how bad both of those heroes are. So together, they are completely fucking pointless. They serve no purpose anymore. Farah is dog shit. And you could majorly buff her, and I still think she'd be dog shit. Then not being able to regenerate fuel while you're in the air slaughters the entire existence of the character. So she just dies. Like, she's just pointless. I think Reaper is pretty good. I'm honestly, now that people might think I'm crazy, I think Death Blossom is one of the worst ults in the entire game. I think Death Blossom is terrible and should probably be fixed to some degree. It's just not good. It doesn't scale enough. But I think he's A, because he fries people now. The size of his bullets are enormous. You can shoot people from so far away and deal a shitload of damage. It's crazy. People can be like 15 meters away and you're chunking like a quarter of their health bar per shot if you're getting some of those heads in. Plus the fact that Monkey is good, they're going to be diving into you. You're just playing the Monkey duel basically, and then you're pretty good in the 1v1 too, because you obviously got your Wraith, you got giant bullets for some decent range. I mean, people are underrating Reaper right now. I think Reaper's good. His ult, trash. You're actually better off just not even using it, or using it in 1v1, like isolating an off angle, getting into a 1v1 with, say, like a soldier, you creep up behind him, and just popping Death Blossom on top of him. You're, like, outside of that, pointless. Death Blossom's horrible. But he's fantastic in dealing with dive. And he's pretty good in dive too. He's not the best. He's not bad. He's definitely pickable. However, he's more suited towards that anti-dive playstyle. So if your team aren't feeling the dive, like say they're playing like Monkey, Tracer, Sombra, Lucio, Zen, something really strong like that, and your team thinks like, dude, I just want to play like, I want to play Ram or something, you can go Reaper, run around with them. You're very, very strong together because you have that kind of brawly style. So although Brawl's kind of shit, Reaper still has a pretty decent place in the game. Our second S tier, it's Soldier. Fantastic. Broken fucking hero. Needs nerfs immediately. His bullets are egregiously large. Still, even after the nerf. I'm pretty sure they're still huge. He just fries people. He just completely fries them. It requires basically no aim whatsoever to just completely delete people from existence with this character. You don't even really need good aim. You just kill people. He's unbelievable because he's pretty good at dive too. He's pretty good in dive, he's pretty good at anti-dive, and he's really good at taking those off angles, which is where you want him. And he's especially good in the 1v1 now, because after the Helix rocket, although it still does 120 damage, it doesn't do more damage anymore. Because the bullets are so big, you're landing more bullets, which means you can Helix rocket sooner. So although it may seem like it takes longer to kill people in the 1v1, it's actually shorter depending on it. Like if your aim is really good, it's about the same. But if your aim is bad, you're killing people way faster in the 1v1 than you were previously. So I think he's really, really good, primarily for his ability to apply the DPS passive to everything and just kill it all really quickly because he does so much damage. But he's also good in the 1v1, which is why he's there. Sim is D. She's just terrible because she just doesn't do anything. She's only really good in Brawl. Brawl is not very good. Don't play Sim. Torb is B, good poke character, and that's kind of it. He's just like a decent, like if your team's getting kind of rolled, he's just a decent survivability option. He's not great, he's not the best, but he's reliable. Torb is very reliable, which is why I like him. He's really good at staying alive, good damage. You don't need anything else in solo queue. Tracer's S tier, broken character, overpowered, should likely be nerfed, hopefully. Egregious. She's egregious. Everything about her is broken. No more Mei one-shot makes her really difficult to deal with. She's stronger in the 1v1. Her bullets are bigger. She's easier to use. So not only is she easier to use, she's also stronger. Like, everything about her is broken. She's so good. It's actually difficult to describe how good she is. Basically, every aspect of her is improved, and she was already one of the best characters in the game. She's unreal how good she is. You should learn how to play Tracer. Tracer's probably the easiest 1v5 character in the whole game right now. It's relatively easy to be a shit Tracer player and kill 5 players a fight on her. Widow's A, their bullets are huge, and that's it. Like, if she gets dove, she dies, but if they're not playing dive... Okay, here's the thing. I think she's probably B. If they're playing dive, she's useless. If they aren't playing dive, she's the greatest character in the entire game. So, she's mid. Sombra's S tier. Broken as fuck. I should make another video on Sombra about why she's so broken, because a lot of people kind of struggle to understand what I'm talking about when I'm like, this character's really broken, she needs to be fixed and stuff like that, and they're like, why, what's wrong with her? It's perma invis. Okay, perma invis is broken. Being able to path whoever you want to wherever you want without giving any info with no counterplay is absurdly overpowered. So that's why Sombra's an S tier. She's really good in dive. She's really good with all the other dive characters. She's good at enabling dives. She's a good solo queue character. She's got a lot of fucking damage potential. A lot of solo queue. She's just fantastic. There's nothing about her that is actually bad. She's absurdly good. I think Ashe is A tier. She's very good. Strong, reliable hit scan like she usually is. High burst damage. Coach gun is incredible right now as well, because obviously you're going to get dove a lot, popping coach gun a lot. Easier to land the shots, making people go further away. It's just easy. It's just easy to use, and she's very strong with the giant projectiles now, so no problem. I think Echo is B. She's okay. She dies to hit scans very easily. She just kind of falls over. But she's also got a lot of potential. Like, the beam is really, really strong now. It's easier to land your shots, which means because it's easier to land your shots, it's then easier to get your beam out because you only need to do 25 more damage to beam the squishy hero, which means you really only need to be landing one more shot, and because the shots are so easy, you're beaming targets more easily, which means you're winning more 1v1s. But again, like, she's not very good against hit scan, so she just kind of falls over, and she's not good with mercy, so she just can't really get a pocket. It's just a rough experience for Echo players. However, she's still got a lot of potential. Sojourn's S, we all know why. Too easy to use, too much damage, too much mobility, too much AoE damage. The railgun is too broken, it's too easy to use, it's too big, the projectiles are too big, too much damage. Everything about her is just broken. She's not even, like, good because she's good at what's good right now. She's not good because of environment. She's just good because she's ludicrously overpowered in the stat department. And that is it. Lucio, another S tier character. Unbelievable how good this fucking hero is. I'm actually going to drop Soldier down to A tier. Because he's not as good as these fucking three right here. He's not that good. But Lucio's S tier, incredible. No complaints. Boop is really good. Good at enabling dives. Good at counter dive. Just good at everything. Very good at what's being played. Incredible environment for him right now. Moira's A tier. She's just very good. Tons of utility on the heal. So, the AoE heal, I mean. Where she's good in dive. She's good at escaping. She's good at staying alive, which is really important this season. Staying alive is probably the most important thing you can do. Good damage, good at dealing with flankers, good at flanking herself. Very reliable. I think Moira is very good. I think Kiriko is not S tier this season. I think she's A tier. Because the other characters are just better than her for the most part. No, I'll put her in S tier. I mean, Suzu's still broken, right? I mean, like, Suzu is still so fucking good. But the thing is Anna's not getting a lot of playtime. So, Kiriko's probably not going to get a lot of playtime either, but she's still... No, she's A tier. Because her 1v1 potential got tanked in the patch, which is a good thing. It's crazy how the patch released and her dueling potential dropped. She wasn't as good at dueling anymore. And then she just immediately was played less because people were like, wow, my super broken character that can do absolutely fucking everything can't just 2-tap everything in the game anymore. I actually need to land more than 2 shots to kill people. So... thank God. But she's still very good. She's still good in dive, good at anti-dive, good at enabling dives, good at taking angles. She's still okay in the 1v1. She's still a good duelist, but she's not as good as she used to be, so she's dropping down to A tier. And Mercy's D, she's just garbage. There's no point picking her. Her heals per second are bad. Damage boost is not really all that useful this season. She has no survivability at all. She just falls over. She's just not good at all. She's bad. I think BAP is A. BAP is very good for the main reasons you would assume. High damage. I mean, like, BAP is the same reason. The reason BAP is so high right now is the same reason he's been so high every other season. He's just incredible. Super well-rounded, jack of all trades, does everything. AoE healing, burst healing, mobility, damage, survivability, MR, burst healing. Like, it's just everything you could ever need in one character. He's absurd, super broken, overloaded kit. Ludicrously overpowered, fairly apparent, fairly obvious. Brig is S, unbelievably good this season. She's super good mostly because Zen is good, but also because she's really good at anti-dive. That Inspire is really useful. That's applying a ton of healing to everyone. I don't think she's as good as Lucio, but she is definitely better than Monkey and Reaper and Ashe, and I'd have to put her in S because she's better than everyone in A. She's very, very good this season. I mean, the anti-dive potential is so good. The problem is the fact that she's not good in dive, which is the only issue. So you're only running Brig if you're not running dive, and dive is really good. So you're not going to be playing her a lot, but when you are playing her, she's really strong because she's anti-dive. I mean, she's obviously good. She's good in the 1v1 too. Good at dealing with flankers. She's got the fucking Inspire, which needs no introduction. That shit is still broken after, like, what, 6 years or whatever it is. Ludicrous hero, but, you know, it is what it is. And Galari is, like, B. She's okay. Her gun is enormous. Her pylon kind of sucks. Like, she's just a DPS character. Like, her heal is pointless. Like, The problem with Larry is she literally does nothing but do damage. She doesn't even heal. She is less effective than Moira. She's quite literally just Ashe in the support role. She's just bad. I'm sorry. I think Ana is C tier. I think she's trash this season. She's actual garbage. There's just no point picking her. The heal is terrible. The damage is not super useful anymore. Her utility is terrible. She's just susceptible to being dove. She's bad at enabling dive in this current season, mostly because Sombra's getting played. So even if you are dumping heals into people, it doesn't fucking matter because you've got a Sombra shooting them. So they're hacked, virused, Sombra shooting them, they can't escape, Tracer's shooting them, they're getting dumped. It's just pointless. The bubble's down, she sucks. She's too easy to dive, and she doesn't fucking do anything. Ana is bad. I think Weaver is also not good. I think he's also C tier. Because he just dies. Like, I don't know how to, I don't know how else to explain it. Lifeweaver actually he just falls over and dies. That's it. You shoot him, he dies. He's enormous. And that's it. He dies. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. He's just bad. He's too easy to kill. Zen is S tier. I made a video about Zen being the most broken character in the game, which is absolutely still true. I can't even begin to describe how ludicrously overpowered he is without making another video on how broken he is. I'm actually planning on another video. If you made it to the end, I'll explain. I'm planning on making another video. In the past, I made like a 50-minute video or so going over a lot of the problems that Overwatch had, and quite a lot of people enjoyed it. But I didn't go into as much detail as I wanted to. I'm planning on making a video where I go into minute details, or I'm going into like specific like micro details of every character in the game, some of the game modes, maps, ranked system, matchmaker, everything. I'm going to go over everything in Overwatch. It's going to be super long, maybe, depending on how I edit it. And the point is, I just want to go over every character, what's wrong with them, what they need, if they need reworked, buffed, nerfed, their environment, what they do to the game, how they affect everything else, how they play on certain maps, certain problems with certain maps, certain issues with the rank system. It's everything. I'm going to go over everything about everything in that video, and it's not going to be out for a long time because it takes a very long time to make videos like that, especially to get them to the quality I want, where they're kind of more edited than some of the other ones. Like in my generic kind of gameplay ones aren't super edited. They don't take very long to make at all. But I like those kind of more in-depth videos to be higher quality than the kind of like generic ones that I upload. So it'll take a while to edit that, but hopefully it'll be out in the next couple of weeks is what I'm planning on. Anyway, dude, that's my tier list. Thank you and goodbye. Goodbye. Mwah.